can't say can't unless you've tried it a million times. And their face just drops and they're like, but Coach Claire. I'm like, don't give me the but Coach Claire. It's like, you can't say can't unless you tried it a million times. And I guarantee by that millionth time, you're sure as heck gonna do it. But it's like, if you live your life by this barrier of, I can't, then you're forever gonna live in this cyclical cycle of never being able to do what you set out to do, you know?
All right, everybody, welcome back to Creature Feature. Summer vacation is over. We're live with you today, and I've got Claire Vahary with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my name's Claire.
Hey, I want you to introduce yourself like you never met somebody before, right? No, like I said, you're introducing yourself, like even if you're from a coach mode, firefighter mode, whatever mode you want to do, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Claire Vahary. Currently, I work for the city of Westfield as a firefighter. Been in the fitness world for over 10 years. A little bit about myself. I love hiking, anything that has to do with my child, aka my dog Wes, and I am just a bundle of energy, as many people know me as an absolute terror. So, welcome.
Yep. As you can see, a little bundle of terror, a squirrel if you want. Very squirrely energy all the time.
Yep, hand me the squirrel from over the hedge. He's my spirit animal. Gotta love him. So.
It's very, very accurate representation. So, Claire, thanks for coming on today. It's good to have you. Obviously, we know each other very well, so this should be a pretty easy one today. Hopefully we will stay on topic as best as we can, everybody, but we might have some diversions here for sure. So, but today I just want to go ahead and start by asking you, so obviously you're a very busy person. Everybody that personally knows you knows like you have to have at least 6 irons in the fire at all time.
Yeah.
But the major things that are going on in your life right now is that you're an athlete, a coach, a firefighter.
Yep.
So let's say weightlifter, and also a what was the word we want to use?
I'm a massage practitioner.
Massage practitioner. That's the one. We prepped for this.
Yeah.
But so how do you personally manage all those things at once, like juggling all those things?
Yeah. I mean, kind of like what you said, my life is kind of a chaotic mess, but also at the same time, it's controlled chaos. Every day is a new prioritization of what I've got going on. Some days I focus more on my paramedic school, and some days I focus more on work and training, and then other days I'm going to crash and burn and take a nap. But at the end of the day, it's just more about finding my prioritizations for that day and then making my to-do list and knocking things out one by one. I think a lot of times people go about their day and just like try to do as much as they can. And it's like, for me, I go until I can't anymore. So I just keep going and going and going. And then once everything's done, I feel like I've accomplished for the day. I've met all my goals. I've checked off all my boxes on my to-do list. Then I can keep moving forward and do the next thing. Yeah.
Good. And so I guess in your story, I would say that knowing you well enough that like fitness really has been a part of your life, most of it, if not all of it. I mean, you were an athlete before you became an athlete in weightlifting. And so when would you say that lifting and fitness in itself became more than just like a something for sports, but like became a major part of your life?
Yeah. So I mean, I found lifting because of track in high school. Like I had so much trouble gaining weight. I was just this scrawny kid, but like I was super athletic and I didn't really know what to do with it. And then I started going to Lifetime, and I had all of these amazing people around me that took me underneath their wing, because there's just this little 16-year-old girl that doesn't know anything, that just went into the gym, was like, I just want to get stronger. Like I wanted to feel strong in so many different ways. So with the guidance of people and just taking the time to find the discipline, I was like, okay, I think I want to go with this. And then I met somebody who showed me Olympic weightlifting, because after all of my competitive career of soccer and gymnastics and track, I was like, okay, what's next? Because it's like I have this competitive nature. I didn't really know where I was going to go with it. And then I was like, all right, I guess let's try this whole weightlifting thing. And I competed in my first competition in 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. I had size 10 men's shoes stuffed with tissue paper and stuff and hand-me-down clothes that was given to me, and I fell in love with it. And then I knew from there that if I stuck to it, like, I could do something really cool in this and continue on to that competitive nature that I've always had.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Now, that's even stuffing of shoes was something I didn't even know about you. Like,
Yeah.
that's humble beginnings. And like I said, look how far you've come.
I couldn't afford shoes, and I was perusing at Goodwill, and I saw these Reebok CrossFit shoes, like those slip heels. And
Yeah.
like, looked at them, I said, these kind of fit me. And then for an entire year, I wore those shoes until I had my first competition. And then my mom was like, do you need a pair of shoes? I was like, please. That's when I got my first pair of true weightlifting shoes. And that's when I really started to hit the ground running with it. So.
Yeah. What were those first part of weightlift shoes outside of the stuffers?
Outside of the stuffers, it was the Ep.005s, the ones that everybody hates because they don't last very long. But
Colorway.
oh, it's the black, all
The black,
black,
all black?
all black.
Nice.
But honestly, like, once I got those shoes, it felt like it was a beginning for me. You know, I think a lot of people, they get into this sport and they're like, I don't really know what to do. And I kind of just slowly figured it out because weightlifting really exploded in the early 2019, 2020s, and now it's even bigger.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really cool to see how much it's grown over the years.
Yeah. So obviously, you've been doing it for a while now, and so it might be a hard question to answer. But when you think of your journey and how far you've come, are there any like big PRs that come to mind, or like overall turning points in that journey that, like I said, you immediately think of?
You know, and I tell this to a lot of people. I started out being strong, but I wasn't that strong. So for over 4 years, my total was between 140 and 150 kg, and I just couldn't break past that barrier for years and years and years. And it wasn't until right after COVID when I just found this new confidence in myself as a person. And once I myself started to believe in myself, my numbers went up. And I just kept going and going and going. And then eventually I got to this more competitive atmosphere, and I just kept running with it. Obviously, like, there were a bunch of PRs and numbers that I never thought I could hit, but like, more or less hitting numbers that I consistently couldn't hit for years and years, and then just hitting them consistently gave me more and more confidence. So it wasn't really like one specific moment. It was just learning about myself, learning about my confidence that gave me confidence in my sport to do better. And that's kind of how it all started. And then I became more and more competitive with it. And I was like, dang, I want to keep going with this. Like, this is fun.
Well, I think that you highlight a good point of that. From the outside looking in, especially as an athlete, a lot of times people think of like, what are those highlight moments that are happening that are making like that make your journey fulfilled? But the thing is like, it's more that journey perspective, right? It's like when you continue to get better and get more confident, it's the journey itself isn't just so many like hit points as you went, but you see that just crescendo of of confidence, and just your numbers kind of go up, or how you feel under the same numbers get better. And so it's kind of hard to encapsulate in just tiny little moments when you've been doing it for so long.
I mean, it is. And like, I still remember the first time I hit 105 on a clean and jerk. And I still remember the time that I hit 80 kg. Like, you have your moments where you're like, I remember this lift and the atmosphere is amazing. And like, I can't wait to hit it again.
Yeah.
But instead, I don't reminisce on it as, oh, remember that time I hit 80? It's like, I can't wait to hit 80 again. I can't wait to do this again. I can't wait to do that again, because those are what drive me to do better, is those memories of the things that I hit and the progression it's been. Like, 20-year-old me looking at 80 kg, I'd be like, there's no way in this world I'm ever going to hit this number. And then to think, you know, me at 25, like, holy crap, I hit this number. Like, it's insane, but it's, to your point, it's the progression of it. It's not, I have to chase this number, and I have to chase this number, and I have to chase this number. It's about hitting that lift, but hitting that lift consistently, and then hitting that lift consistently again. It's like, dang, okay, so now I can maybe go up, and then you kind of find that progression in it for the long haul, honestly.
Yeah. We're all, especially, I mean, anybody in any kind of strength sport or sport in general knows that you're more or less, you're chasing the unicorn, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's just about, like, you're going, you're like, oh, I did this, and this was the thing I had in my head to do, and now I can do it consistently so I can go even farther. And that's just a part of the progression. That's what makes you better in anything in life. It doesn't even have to be like a physical thing that you're accomplishing, but even like a mental, emotional thing is just like, I just want to be consistently feel like, feel better. And like, that could be something in itself. But in any case, that was obviously something that you've always been active, and it continues to be active. And as of late, in this last, year, maybe even year and a half,
Yeah, about a year and a half now.
that you've been a firefighter. And so, as that part of your life has come about, is that something that you've thought about wanting to be, or for a long time, or is like, how did that come about in your life?
Uh, it's kind of hard to say, because I went to school for biomedical engineering, not even anything in the fitness world, nothing to do with healthcare, nothing.
Yeah.
And then I found the gym, and I found kinesiology, and I transitioned to that. And I was like, okay, this is like genuinely so much fun. And then I went to collegiate strength and conditioning. And then I was like, you know what? This is even better. And I just decided after collegiate strength and conditioning, I wanted to help people more. And so I went into the hospital setting, and I started to really enjoy patient care. Like, I was just a rehab tech. I was an intro level job, didn't need anything for it, but I knew I loved helping people, and that's where I wanted to keep going. But being in the hospital setting, there's not much growth. Unless I wanted to go get another degree. I was already 2 degrees deep. I was like, do I need to go back for another one? And then I met a lot of people in the fire service, and they said, why don't you just come check it out? And I did a ride along, and I genuinely fell in love with it. Like, the physicality aspect of it was something, and, going into a fire is always badass.
Yeah.
But also, like, patient care, patient rapport, that's something that I cannot emulate anywhere else. And that's truly why I love what I do, is because on people's worst days, I'm there for them.
Yeah.
And I can either be something that makes them smile, or give them that confidence that we're going to do everything we can to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's something why I love the fire service, is just being able to give back to my community, and knowing that they have a friendly face that they can always turn to know that they're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's super important. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better person to do it either.
Well,
So-
thank you.
Yeah. I mean, truly. So you obviously had to go through a lot, even within fire, to get to where you are now in this last year and a half. So Fire Academy, I
Boy.
mean, I remember you going through all that. Could you tell us what you think was, one, the hardest thing physically to accomplish with Fire Academy, and then two, mentally? And it
Yeah.
might even be the same thing, but
So I think for me is, obviously, when you think of firefighter, you think of a 6 foot plus man, and it's not like it's more of everybody is different. Everybody is their own person. And for me, being a 130-pound, 5'2" woman, it's kind of hard. Like, there are some things that are just really, really hard for smaller individuals to do, and that's men and women. So for me, it was learning how to do things my way, finding my technique that works for me, and being comfortable with it. Obviously, there were so many times I was so frustrated because I kept doing the same drill, like forcible entry and figuring out how to throw ladders with my stature. And like, nobody ever doubted my abilities, but there were times where I doubted myself being able to do it. But with like additional training and additional practice, I found what worked for me. Obviously, sometimes I would laugh at myself because I looked like an absolute idiot trying to like do things.
yeah.
Like there were times where I absolutely demolished myself with a ladder, or the ladder decided to win the battle against me,
Yeah.
or the door was just not going. Those were probably the hardest physicality things I had to go through, is just learning how to train and train well and efficiently with my stature. But I found it, and I'm very fortunate that I had really strong legs, and it just took time for me to learn that. It's not something that comes in a day.
Yeah.
Hardest mentally, I still wanted to do everything outside of the fire service, especially in the academy. Like, I still wanted to do everything. Like, I still wanted to train. I still wanted to see my friends. I still wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that was the first time I truly had to learn what balance was. And sometimes it was hard. Like, there are times where I just sat there and just like felt so defeated because it's like I couldn't accomplish everything that I wanted to do. But also at the same time, like, I knew that I would figure it out. Like, I knew I could figure it out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think just to highlight, especially with, like, it bleeds into both for me, but that just is a testament to one of the qualities that you've always had that works really well for you is perseverance, right? Because perseverance isn't really always so. I mean, like, obviously you're going and going again, but a part of perseverance sometimes is knowing that you have to, like, change things, right? Let's say with, like, the physical stuff, it's like your stature is a little bit different than a normal firefighter.
Yeah.
But what helped you to overcome was the perseverance, because you were not only, it's like, okay, I'm going to try it this way, this technique. Maybe I'm going to look dumb as hell.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I'm at least going to be okay with looking stupid until I make it look right. And that's like an important part of perseverance, is always just doing it over and over again and looking good every time. Is that part of the time of perseverance is truly happening when you're like, I'm going to look dumb, but as soon as I can figure this out and I put myself there,
great.
I said it's going to be great,
Yes.
right? Because you have to be okay with looking stupid for a while. And I think that's why I like to tell people about weightlifting. Is like, a lot of people show up to weightlifting or just like, they just want to come out and just move perfectly.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, like, chances are, you're going to look kind of dumb until you don't. But you got to go through that awkward, like, it's almost like growing your hair out. You got to go through that awkward phase.
I feel like so many people compare themselves to me and to other high level athletes. And it's like, please don't, because like, and I'll show people old videos of what I used to look like. And I look like a baby giraffe learning how to walk.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, it took, like, I'm in this for 6-7 years now. And it's like, I'm still learning. Like, even with my coach, Matt, like, I'm still like, hey, let's do some tech sessions. Like, I'm still figuring things out. And I feel like a lot of people are complacent with the way they're content with just this mediocrity rather than being like, how can I do better? What can I do to do more? And that's what it is in the fire service too. Like, even now, there were things that I learned in the academy that I'm tweaking and perfecting now and changing on shift because we do so much training.
Yeah. I mean, that's the pursuit of greatness.
Yeah.
Isn't about arriving at a destination. It's like, you have to continue to go. Like, even the best, I'm sure the best firefighters, the best weightlifters, all those people, like, there's never like a destination that you arrive at.
Yeah.
Because even there's so many different ways to get better. Like, even if you, like I said, let's say you're a power jerker. And like, you have refined your craft of being a really good power jerker, but then you try split jerk out. And you're like, man, I think my ceiling might be a little bit higher if I just worked on my split jerk a little bit more and made that better. And then you find that, even though like, and then maybe even you're a split jerker in the beginning, and then you just change how you split jerk.
Dude, my split jerk sucked. My power jerk sucked.
Yeah.
But it's like finding how your mechanics and what works best for you, because everybody is different. I think that the biggest thing is like, no matter what you do, like in this realm of fitness, it's like, you have to find what works best for you. You could look at somebody online and be like, I'm going to try it this way. But then later on you realize that's not what that's just not the way that your body moves. And you have to find the most efficient way that your body is going to function. And it's like this toxic world of online where you're just like looking at everything and looking at all this technique. It's like, it's okay to take it with a grain of salt. But what really helped me in the long run is saying, you know what? I'm not going to move like that. And I'm not going to move like that. So I have to take that trial and error of learning what works for me.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody's biomechanics are different. And that's why the people that are really good at what they do, at a coaching perspective or even from a science perspective, get like I said, have so much, either get paid well or have so much, I guess, visibility, because they can hone in on what kind of athlete are you? Like, what are your dimensions?
Yep.
How do you move? How do we take you and make you the best lifter or the best person to do whatever you need to do based on what you are? And that's, because a lot of people like do the cookie cutter, one size fits all approach. And unfortunately, that just isn't going to it might make people, especially from a baseline, better.
Yeah.
But as far as moving on to being an intermediate to an advanced athlete, you're always going to suffer if somebody brings that approach with you, because they're not coaching you, they're coaching and just a space.
Yep.
So
that's one reason why I love coaching.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough because like actually getting to know your athlete, getting to know all those things about them is a very, I guess, like I said, it's
trial and error.
Yeah.
It really is. And I tell people that, I'm like, if you're going to coach, don't assume that they are going to respond well to X program. Like, it takes months and months and months to figure out what your athlete needs, and like also to figure them out. Like, you're not going to know your athlete in a day, even though you know them as a person. You don't know how their body moves. Like, it just takes a while to figure
100%.
it out.
And it goes the same for an athlete. Is like, if you're an athlete with a coach, because we all know the type of athletes too that like stay with a coach for a couple months and they're like, I didn't get anything out of it. And they're like, don't get me wrong, like there's obviously red flags that maybe things aren't going to work for you.
Yeah.
But the coach hoppers also are an issue as well, because it's like you have to give like your coach adequate amount of time to program for you, to hone in on who you are as an athlete, how you move, what works for you, so they can make you a better athlete as well. And so you have to have a certain kind of patience with your coach that some athletes just kind of lack, unfortunately.
No, I get upset sometimes when I see people move away from coaches earlier on, but truly just take time, really get to know them. If there are those red flags, absolutely, like say, hey, sayonara, give your communication, but like at the same time, like give these coaches a chance.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you yourself aren't even gonna, especially in weightlifting, like you're not even gonna know what your body's capable of until many years down the line. It's a whole process to get there.
100%. So I guess springboarding off of that, I mean, and moving back, like you had talked about, like one of the benefits for you going into training for firefighting, like academy and everything, is that you do have strong legs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I would imagine that as part of just the training that you've done for weightlifting has helped support that. But are there any other things from weightlifting that when you were in fire academy, you're like, oh, I'm actually kind of geared for this because I've kind of done this for years, this kind of style of training?
So I will die on this hill, and I will die on this hill all day, every day. Your foundation is what is the most important thing. And I tell that to everybody that's going into the fire service. Your foundational strength and your general awareness of yourself in space and time, kinesthetic awareness, is just the most beneficial thing anybody going through the academy can have. So like obviously, like being in weightlifting, I'm very much aware of my body in space and time and learning how to move it. That foundational strength truly helps with every facet, with PT, with getting onto the fire ground, with lifting patients. Like it all encompasses, but it starts with that foundational strength and just moving efficiently and moving with the purpose of knowing that you're going to have this injury prevention. I call it bulletproofing your body. Like, I remember so many people were like, oh, my joints hurt, this hurts, that hurts. And I was like, I'm feeling okay. Like, I feel fine. But it's because of that foundational strength, which I'm so happy that I was in weightlifting and I had that strength there, because it translated so well into the academy. Not weightlifting itself, but like just being able to be foundationally strong.
Yep.
Because honestly, if I didn't have weightlifting, if I didn't have that strength, I would not be in the fire service, hands down, at all. Like, there's no way a 130-pound woman can get into the fire service if they didn't have that strength.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, if you're going to go in the fire service, make sure you are getting after it prior, like, and preparing yourself and making sure when you get there, you're like, yes, I've got this. I can do this.
Yeah. It's just like prepping for a test, but just with your body.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Like if you didn't study and you didn't take the time to prep leading up to it, then you're already just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yep. And it sucks because I see a lot of people go through the academy or go through stuff and don't have that, just take the time and patience to do and have discipline to learn and build. And I see the injuries and I see the overuse injuries and I see everything. And it's just like, how can we mitigate that? Which is why I'm such an advocate for this foundational strength, because that's what's going to help you in the long run.
Yeah, 100%. And so as you've transitioned though, have you seen that your training has probably changed as a result? I mean,
Sure.
in the gym itself.
Yeah.
And so do you find yourself like focusing on certain movements that you didn't really like, maybe even like, you're like, I don't really need to do these before, when you're just focusing on weightlifting, or just like, I need to implement these more than I did before?
So I tell this to everybody. When I started weightlifting, I did weightlifting for myself.
Yeah.
Like, it was because I wanted to be competitive. It was because I love the sport. I still do love the sport. And I want to continue on with it. But now there's a better purpose, or a greater purpose for what I'm doing here. And it's for my job. Like, I want to look at my brothers and sisters and be like, I can pull them out of a burning building.
Yeah.
Or I can lift this patient. I can do this. I can do that. Like, sometimes when I go on my runs, I'm like, can I pull this person out of a burning building? Can I do this? Can I do that? And that's what drives me now to keep continuing my strength journey. Obviously, like, I still love the sport. Like, I still love competing. But at the same time, it's like, it's for a bigger purpose, not just for myself. So my goals are oriented to the job. Like, I moved up a weight class because I was cutting for a meet, and it was so hard to put on my gear and feel like I could give it my full energy. And so I told myself no more. And it's for my job. Like, that's genuinely why I moved up a weight class. It's like, oh, I can cut all day, every day to a 59 or 58 now. But it's like, do I want to? At what cost is it to my job? So as far as movements are concerned, Matt and I are just kind of playing around. We're going to try to be a little bit more of an athlete versus just a weightlifter. Like, I kind of want to get back to my roots of being more powerful, being more athletic.
Explosive,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rather than just kind of, okay, we're going to go in here. We're going to do my 2.5 hour lift of being on a barbell. We're kind of implementing more things, changing direction, ballistic movements, landings, just athletic positions that we've kind of moved away from now that I'm away from different sports like that. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. We're going to kind of play around for the next 8 weeks and just kind of see how far we can go with it, and then kind of get back into some more training and see how it translates over. Yeah.
No, definitely look forward to that. I mean, I think that I've already been in the proto group of that with the sprint training. So
I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah. So sprint training videos coming to you soon.
Boy.
They're going to be ugly, but we're doing it.
Yeah.
So obviously when you're on shift for like 24 hours at a time, I believe. 24 on,
24 on,
48
off, usually.
So obviously you have to find time to train around your shift schedule and through your shift schedule.
Yeah.
So how do you make that happen? I said, you obviously, I've seen the videos. I know that she was just showing me the photos of her setup at her station before we started this. So she got her own little setup for it. So how do you find enough to make the time while you're on shift to get training done?
Yeah. What's fortunate is our run volume isn't super crazy, so I'm not always on the medic. However, there are times it's rough to get in there, especially with being in paramedic school. A lot of times I just got to squeeze it in there. But yeah, I already showed them. I've kind of accumulated stuff over the past year that I've been in the fire service. It's just been, I've got my kilos now. I got a weight tree. We've got a squat stand. I bought 2 new they're not new, but like I bought barbells for the station. And then I just got some rubber mats to put in we have an extra bay and we have a backup ambulance. I pull the ambulance out, get my little setup together, and then I'll just lift. And, I get it in where I can get it in. Like sometimes I'll do one movement, we get a call, I'll be gone for an hour, and then I'll come back. I got to finish my report, and then I get back to training. Sometimes a 1.5-hour lift turns into a 5-hour lift, and it's just kind of the nature of the job. Same thing too, like sometimes I work overnight. Like we get calls overnight, so I get home, and he was literally texting me before we got here, are you sleeping right now? And I'm like, Paul, I worked all night. I had runs overnight. So it's like you get your naps in where you can. And obviously, like, the sleep deprivation does affect my training. But ultimately, like, you take your naps where you can, you fit your lifts in where you can. And it's just that discipline and that lifestyle of just like, I've been doing this for so long. It's like, it's not a, well, should I do this? It's going to happen no matter what. Like, and there are some days you do have to listen to your body. There are some days I'm on shift and it's like, my call volume is so high. I have no time whatsoever to get my lift in. And it's like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Like, I do my stretches. I maybe just go for a jog. I might go for a walk. Like, but it's like, sometimes it's just, it is what it is. Like,
yeah. Well, I think it's all about meeting. It's the balance between flexibility and intention, right? I think that in order to, if you have goals, to be able to accomplish them, you have to have intention, even when it's difficult. But you have to know that when there are situations that are not precisely workable, that you have to have the flexibility to fit to that movement and move forward with it, and know that your intention is still intact despite meeting situations where you have to be flexible.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, and that's one reason why I love weightlifting, is it's because it is so flexible. But there are times where I get discouraged because I'm so tired or we had a really long training or we did something and I'm just like, I feel like absolute dog crap and this sucks. And I want to like go train, and then I have a horrible training session. But you know what the best part about it is, I can smile and say, you know what, I did my best.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks because it's like you have this expectation for yourself and you know what you can hit. But like, sometimes it's just, it is what it is. And like, I think knowing that I tried my best, and if I sucked at one lift, I can push myself in accessories, or I can try to redeem myself in that next movement. It's just like, it's this little game of like, although some lifts may be disappointing, or some like whole encompassing lifts are horrible, it's like, all right, next day, there's always another time, there's always going to be another lift, and I can always do better. But it's like, I never go into a session feeling defeated, knowing that I didn't give it my best.
Yep. No, I mean, that's, like I said, that's all about your mindset at that point. And it's like, if you know that you went out there, you did your best, then really you have nothing to regret in that situation.
Yeah.
So you've been doing, say, we talked about firefighting. So you got out of the academy probably about a year ago, right?
About a year.
It feels like a year, yeah. Not a little bit over a year.
Yeah, my full year in the fire service. I graduated 2024 in July. Yeah, July. Yeah, so I finished the academy in July of 19th, I think, of 2024.
1993. So, but in this year that you've been active, are there any specific stories that come to mind that were kind of like wild, where you're like, wow, thank goodness I do strength training, because it definitely came in handy here, if you can talk about it.
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, there have been instances where we've had larger set patients, but I think like my favorite story of like, I'm so glad I'm small, is when I had to go into a sewer to save 12 little ducklings. I'm like,
aww.
I know. That's my favorite story. Yeah, no, technically I wasn't supposed to go down in the sewer drain, but like I'm a big advocate for animals, and like we had 12 ducklings in a sewer, and honestly, I'm very, very much happy that they let me go down there because I saved baby ducklings. But there are those moments where it's like my stature, like attic spaces or small spaces where most people aren't going to fit in. There have been a lot of instances where I've been like, you all wish you were small, because I'll fit in these small spaces for you. I got it.
That's why she's great at hide and go seek.
I know. You'll never find me.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's way harder for people like me.
No, I think the one thing that really makes me happy is like knowing like a lot of the guys don't want to go in those small spaces, and I'm just like the first one to jump on and be like, pick me. I'll go in the small space. I got you. So yeah, it's not the craziest story, but honestly, like just anything that has to do with small spaces or confined spaces, I'm like, heck yeah, put me in. I got you.
I'm built for this.
I'm built for this. This is where I belong.
So obviously with all the things that you do, with the long shifts that you work and like the heavy training that you do, like that's puts a lot of strain on your body.
Mhm.
So I think that's something that's important, that because we've talked about like, how important like is it is doing the strength training, showing up, having an intention. But for you, what does having intention with your recovery look like on those after those things?
So something that I tell everybody, and I preach it to the choir, is for every one thing you do to break down your body, you do two things to rebuild your body.
Mm.
And I think that's a concept for people that is just like, what do you mean to do two things to rebuild your body? That includes sleep, food, stretching, additional care like getting body work done, taking care of yourself, having mental health like time, just doing the little things to take care of yourself. Like, I know it's hard to do, and like sometimes you're like, oh, I can't squeeze this in. But like for me, like I get body work every 2 weeks, and I know that's not doable for everybody, but I do stretching after every shift. Like I take the time to do my accessory work. I know a lot of times people get to the end of their life, they're like, I'll just miss that accessory work. But ultimately, it's gonna hurt you in the long run if you don't do all those little things that you need to do. So for every one thing you do to break down your body, lifting, my job, like do two things to rebuild, whether it be something mentally or just doing those little things, because ultimately it'll add up. I know a lot of times people ask me like, how are you not injured? Like you do so much. It's like, because I take the time, although it sucks because I have to sacrifice some other stuff. I take the time to make sure my body feels good and I feel good, because that is what's going to help me have a long career and a long lifting career as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good approach. Yeah, two things for every one thing that breaks down. So, but obviously, sometimes in life we felt like we couldn't keep up with all those things that life was
Okay.
throwing at us.
No.
And so that's why my next question for you is, obviously with so many things going on, it's easy to get burnt out,
Yeah.
right? And so dealing with burnout when it happens, because I truly feel like even the people that have the most intention with recovering, taking time, having intention, being perseverant, no matter how good you are at all those elements, that burnout is is inevitable to a certain degree. So I'm sure burnout has happened for you. And so I just want you to answer the question of like, when it comes to having burnout, what have you done to get through it and to get back to where you need to be?
I think a lot of times we get pulled in a lot of different directions. I mean, for everybody here that doesn't know what I'm going through, I'm in paramedic school, which in itself is crazy. I'm working 56-hour work weeks plus 40 to 60 hours with paramedic clinicals and studying. And on top of that, I work 2 jobs, 3 jobs sometimes. I'm still trying to get 20 to 30 hours of training in. I'm helping with recruit PT. I'm doing a lot. And sometimes it's hard to balance. But I think ultimately it comes down to your support system too. Burnout is inevitable, like you said. And there have been times where I've just like sat on the couch and been like, I don't know how in the world I'm going to continue on. Like, this is just so hard. But then I get people around me like yourself or Matt or my parents or my boyfriend that are like, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And it's like that support system keeps me from going down that dark place of knowing that I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it's like, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to prioritize certain things. And it's okay that like to communicate, like I've communicated with Matt. I'm like, hey, this week is not my week. Like changing up training, changing up those little things. Like maybe even saying like, I had X, Y, and Z planned today, and then just canceling everything and just like sleeping all day or doing something. Like it's inevitable, but also at the same time, it's a mindset. Like, I think a lot of times people have this victim mentality of the world is out to get them. Everything sucks. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I hate the word can't, because you're not like, there are seasons of life where it's going to be hard. There are seasons of life where you're not going to want to continue on. But knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel and knowing that there's so much good and sunshine at the end of this tunnel, it's okay. Like, I always tell people, like, it's okay if you're burnt out. But just know if you surround yourself with people that you love and that care about you and are here to support you, like, ultimately that has helped me continue on, especially with this crazy, crazy, crazy season of life I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
But obviously, burnout, like you said, it's going to happen. But
it's just like hard times in life, right?
Yeah.
Hard times are inevitable no matter how well you set up your life.
Oh, yeah.
It's more about how do I put myself in a mindset that when hard times come, that I give myself the time and grace to face them and to be kind to myself and to, like I said, to take them on wholeheartedly and just move forward.
And the hard part is you're going to have guilt. Like, you're going to be like, gosh, I'm not hanging out with my friends as much. And some people will be like, are you okay? Like, I haven't seen you. Or you're like training at the oddest times. But it's like, ultimately, it's okay. Like, it's okay to not be okay, but to know that you're still taking that step forward. My rule of ones. People have always seen this tattoo and they're like, what does this mean? And I'm like, it's Morse code. It's the rule of ones.
It's it's a quadruple exclamation mark, actually.
It is. But really, it means you're living by your ones rather than your twos and your threes. Like, one more memory, one more laugh, one more set, one more rep, one more breath, one more just everything. And if you live by your ones, then they're going to add up. So you got your twos, you got your threes. But instead of living by your twos and threes of the past and the future, you live in your ones. You live more in the present. And with each one, you're slowly inching your way forward in life rather than thinking so far ahead in life and knowing this is the goal I want to get to. Of course it's going to be there. Of course it's going to be like out in front of you, but also not looking too far ahead or not looking too far back is truly what's going to help you find happiness in the present and just be okay with this season of life and knowing what's next. But also, okay, it doesn't have to be a step by step. It can be just living by those ones because those ones are ultimately going to get you to that overarching goal.
Yeah. Eyes set to the present. I mean, that's the only moment that you can impact is the one right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Truly.
Exactly.
So another aspect of your life that I feel like is important and has been a large part of impacted my life a lot is you being a coach and a certified personal trainer.
Yeah.
So when you started that journey, what was it that led you there? Like what made you want to go down that route?
I think because I myself was this naive individual that knew nothing about lifting. Like for years and years and years, like I just went like in APC, we would have these workouts. Then when I was 15, my dad would take me to Lifetime and I would just go do these workouts. And I would do them twice because I was like, okay, I can do it better this next time. And then it wasn't until people took me underneath their wing and I started to learn from these very, very knowledgeable people that I started to be like, oh, okay. And then I didn't even realize, like when I got to college, like I didn't even realize kinesiology was even a degree. I was like, what the heck is this? Like, and then I got into it and then I started being a fitness consultant, then I became a personal trainer, and then I became an operations manager, and I just fell in love with the gym. Like I fell in love with every aspect of the gym, and I truly just wanted to be able to teach people. Like it's hard to say, but it's like I wanted people to have that love for fitness that I had, and I always told people my training methodology is I want to hold your hand at the beginning. I want to guide you to where you need to go. But then when you're ready, I want to let go of your hand and know that you have this autonomy to just go kick some ass. Like just go and be the successful person and fall in love with it and create a lifestyle out of it. That's truly why I started coaching too. It's like athletes of all levels. And no matter if you're starting off just like learning how to lift, you're still an athlete. Like you're still learning how to do everything. And you are an athlete because ultimately the fitness world is athletics. You may not be training for a sport, but you're still an athlete in some sense. So that's how I always coached. And I love being able to see people that I've coached get to where they're at in their fitness journey. And it makes me so happy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, and the thing that's really important that you laid out before, they're talking about like, no coach or personal trainer that's worth their salt like wants to continue to baby bird you for the rest of your athletic career, right? That's, I mean, because for one, like I said, me, like as also being a CPT, also coaching people, the idea is just like, it's almost like I want to see you grow, right? I want to see you grow. I want to see, like, I want to give you this information. I want you to be able to make it your own and to use it the way you want to, be a sponge, use what I give you, but also give like what else life's given you and everything that you're like researching yourself, and become a better, not only athlete, but a better person. And like I said, seeing that growth with your athletes is great. And it's one of the best parts of coaching.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like the last thing I want to do is to keep you here and baby bird you all day, every day, and keep you like, I want to see some like the growth and the evolution, right?
I see a lot of athletes that give up on their fitness journey because they are so reliant on their coach or their trainer. Obviously, like sometimes, but like getting in that mindset of being able to push yourself rather than having to rely so much on your coach to push you. You're never
You
gonna.
should always want it more than your coach.
Exactly.
You should always want it. I mean, your coach should help you want it more, but it shouldn't be your primary motivator. Shouldn't be your coach telling you to do this.
Exactly. And that's kind of why I have this very I don't know what kind of approach you would put it, but tough love approach.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, do you want it? Like, do you want this?
Yeah.
Do you want to hit this number? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to do this? Instead of making excuses of why you can't, because again, I hate the word can't, tell myself.
My mom says can't, never could.
I would, and here's my thing. And I tell this to my gymnastics athletes all the time because they're like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm like, you can't say can't unless you've tried it a million times. And their face just drops and they're like, but Coach Claire. I'm like, don't give me the but Coach Claire. It's like, you can't say can't unless you tried it a million times. And I guarantee by that millionth time, you're sure as heck going to do it. But it's like, if you live your life by this barrier of, I can't, then you're forever going to live in this cyclical cycle of never being able to do what you set out to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%, because you're just looking at the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into the next question a little bit, is that we've existed in the fitness industry for a while now, and so we've heard a lot of stuff over this time. But what is overall one training myth that you wish people would stop believing in this truth?
Training myth.
Yeah.
Ooh. Every time you go to the gym, you're going to feel better leaving. I think that's such a hard thing, a concept for people to understand. Like, although I've been in this world for a long time, like sometimes you leave the gym feeling like absolute crap. You're like, this sucked. I feel like crap. Everything hurts. I think I'm dying. Like, and this false reality of the fitness world is like, go to the gym. You're going to feel great. You're going to feel better. Like, blah, 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 blah. No. I'm sorry, but no. Sometimes you're going to go to the gym and you just like leave and you're like, I'm going to go on the couch and I'm going to fall asleep and it sucks. But
I'm going to go home. I'm going to cry.
I'm going to cry.
Take a shower.
And this has to do with
some more.
Yeah, I was going to say, and this has to do with like the fitness, like not just weightlifting, but like people that are just starting out, like GPP, like general preparatory stuff, like you're just learning how to lift. It's still going to suck. And there are days that you're going to like drag your feet through the mud. But ultimately, you're going to look back on those days and you're going to be like, yep, that sucked. But also, I've gotten so much better because of it. And I'm a better person because of it. Like those sucky days made for the best. And I think a lot of times people just look at the fitness world and they're like glitz and glam and muscles and everything. And I'm like, honestly, it sucks sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, I think it leads into like thinking about the law of thirds, right?
Yeah.
You know about the law of thirds, right?
You live everything in thirds?
No, the law of thirds.
Oh, no. Explain.
So you know this concept without maybe not knowing the name. Law of thirds is like, you're going to have great days. You're going to have okay days. You're going to have bad days, right?
Yep.
And so when those great days come, enjoy them for what they are, right? And the okay days, that's fine too. On the bad days, though, nobody likes having a bad day. But what's important is that you understand that those bad days will come just as often as okay or those great days, but you have to still show up for those bad days. And one bad day one bad day experience gets you closer to another okay or great day. You just have to trust the process and keep moving forward.
Yep. And I know, I tell this to everybody, I know it sucks. I know those bad days are absolutely terrible and suck so bad. And it's like, I have had plenty of them, especially in the however many years I've been in the fitness world. I don't even know anymore. It's like, there are those days. And you know, the worst part is you're going to have way more bad days than you have good days. But then there are those times where you're like, this is weird. I'm having way more good days than bad days. And it's like, when is the bad day going to come? And it will come. But ultimately, you have to realize, like, that's okay. Like, everything's okay. And it's fine. And it's like, just knowing and smiling through and laughing at your faults and how messed up the bad day is, and just laughing through it and smiling through it and know, hey, you know what? Today sucked, but you know what? Maybe tomorrow will be better. And you might have 3 or 4 bad days back and back and back, but ultimately, like, it's okay. Like, and I tell people this, and I tell my athletes that it's okay, because once you find those good days and you continue on with them, you'll see the smile in their faces, and you'll see them be like, guess what I just did? And I'm like, tell me all the good things that you did. And then, but ultimately, and sometimes I'm going to be like, hey, it's okay. And then they're like, shut up, Claire. I'm like, you can cuss at me. You can tell me all the things that you hate about weightlifting and how you want to quit. But then you have the good day and they're like, oh, I love this sport. It's great. I love it. Oh my gosh. I'm like, there it is.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
It takes time to see it sometimes.
Yeah. It just sucks.
Yeah. No, yeah. But yeah, it's just about trusting it, knowing that it's going to be okay. Take a deep breath. The next day will come.
Exactly.
So I want to talk a little bit more, like, back into the firefighting side of things. So unfortunately, there's a stigma, I said, when it comes to firefighting, that it's a male-dominated like field, that it's something that usually you don't see women doing. So what is it overall like existing in that space, being a woman in a male-dominated field, and like carving out your space and making it your own, not only mentally but also physically?
Yeah. So what's fortunate about me is I'm in a department where I have all the guys that give me the respect and know that I can do my job and trust me that, like, if something ever happens, I have their back. So I've never really had that stigma, and it's even better when, like, we go onto fire scenes and, like, I have these amazing group of people that can just trust me and trust that I'm doing my job and I can do it well. Obviously, we might go to an elderly gentleman's home, and Mima and Papa are looking at me and they're like, ma'am, can you really lift me? And I have to, kind of swallow it. But being in the hospital setting too, I can't tell you how many times more than not people doubted my abilities, and that's okay. But ultimately, I brush it off my shoulder because it doesn't matter. Because 3 big things. 1, I know I can do my job. 2, everybody on my shift and my crew knows I can do my job. And 3, I always continue to train for my job. Like, I'm never complacent, and I'm always learning from my mistakes. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this better. So it's like those 3 things set me up for success, especially in this male-dominated field. But honestly, I don't look at it that way. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of women, I hate to say this, but a lot of women in the fire service say, oh, I'm in a male-dominated field. Oh, my gosh, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Like, I know that's going to be a harsh truth for a lot of people, that their identity is being a woman in the fire service. Yeah. For me, it's not that. It's like knowing that I am a firefighter and I do my job well. Yeah. And I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers there. But ultimately, like, I am a firefighter. Yeah. I'm not a female firefighter. I am a firefighter. Yeah. And, like, I love the fact that my department just looks at me as a person and not as just a woman. Like, yeah. And I love that. And I will continue to show them that they can trust me on a fire scene. And I will continue to show my department that I am doing the training and putting in the work to be the best firefighter I can be and to help the community in every capacity I can. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't think that you could have encapsulated, like, how we've talked about this before between us in a better way, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's just like, why are you focused on the gender of me? I'm a firefighter. I am accomplishing my job to the T and doing it well. Gender is irrelevant.
it's the same thing with that victim mentality. If you live in this victim mentality of, oh, I can't do things this way, and because I am this and this and this. If you live in this victim mentality of life, like, you're gonna live a really crappy life. But if you get past that and just are like, you know what? This situation sucks, but you know how I can make it better? By doing what I need to do in order to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need to be the loudest person in the room telling people that I'm going to do this to prove you wrong. If you do it silently and you just put in the work, like, you're going to be successful. But you don't need that validation. You don't need to just be this person that has to have that validation all the time. You're going to be in such a better spot. And I don't need it. I don't need people to say, wow, good job, Claire. You're doing a great job. I see all the work you're doing. No, I put my head down and I work because that's what I want to do. And I'm not living in this victim mentality world that, yep, I'm a 5'2", 130-pound woman in the fire service. My gear is more than half my body weight. I don't talk about it because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, it's very Teddy Roosevelt of you. It's very speak softly but carry a big stick,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
So your big stick is just all your equipment on you. So, because I mean, you're making it happen, right?
Yeah.
You're making it happen. It's just like nobody, if anybody had a reason to question you, well, they don't. And so as a result,
here I am.
Here you are, right? So, is there any moment between lifting or firefighting that you would say is your proudest moment that you could speak on between those two worlds? It may be one from both if you want to. Obviously, we talked about the ducklings, which is adorable.
Oh, I love my ducklings.
And so that might just capture like
best moment ever.
Best moment. Saving ducklings.
Honestly, I think the part that I'm most proud of, and it's not a specific moment. It's just the fact that I'm doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like,
continuing to show up, continuing to kill it.
Yeah. And I think I'm proud of myself doing everything that I'm doing, but still wanting to do more and be better. I think that's a hard thing is I don't want to be complacent, but like knowing I went through academy, I still did training. I'm on shift. I'm still doing my training. I had like the worst prep of my life for nationals. Like I was barely getting any sleep. Like I had the biggest exam of my life on that Sunday after I competed on that Friday. And just like knowing that I'm just chugging along, like, you know, Dory, she just says, just keep swimming. That's literally how I'm going about life right now.
Yeah.
But like, it's not one specific moment. It's just this overarching proudness that I'm doing it. Like I'm living my best life. I love my job. I love everything about my job and I wouldn't want to change it for the world. And although I am in a very, very busy season of life because I've decided to do things to better myself, you know, it sucks in the moment, but I know ultimately, like, I can look back and be like, wow, like, that sucked. But I'm just proud that I made it through, and I'm proud that I'm able to help people in so many different ways in my community, and also helping myself, like, being a better person, staying healthy, and doing what I need to do. Like, it's kind of how I view it all.
Yeah, and we're proud of you, too. I hope you know that. So obviously, the journey. Like I said, the journey has been a beautiful thing for you. Like I said, ups, downs, all arounds, but you continue to show up. You continue to do what you need to do to make it happen, which is inspirational. And I hope you know it for that. And so if there is anybody out there, especially like young women, I said, that often count themselves out, what would you tell them? What kind of advice would you give them if they were trying to follow a similar path to yours?
Honestly, biggest thing that I would tell women is it all starts with your mentality. A lot of times they look at this very objective viewpoint of getting into the fire service or getting into lifting or just doing a bunch of things. And they have this mentality of, I can't, it's hard, I can't, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But like, it all starts with your mindset. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I will. I am. I'm going to do. Don't say, I try. I'll try. Well, maybe. Like, if you can give yourself definites, then you are going to be in such a better spot. One of my really close friends, and I won't cuss, but if it's not an F yes, it's an F no.
Yeah.
So you have to live in those absolutes, especially when you go and do these things, because it's like, if you live in this world of, well, I'll try, or maybe, you're gonna never be able to fully do it. But if you're like, I'm doing it and I'm gonna do it well, you kind of shift your confidence level to be this person that you want to be. And no matter what, you figure it out.
Yep. Yeah.
So
That's good.
that's my best advice for you ladies. Just keep it up. And also know that you're not alone. Like, again, my support system. Find your people. Reach out to the people you need to reach out to. Connections are everything. Like, being able to know that you're not alone in it makes things so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Definitely not alone. We're all struggling out here, but we're committing to it. We're
Exactly.
Commit to the struggle because it's part of it.
Exactly.
Right? So now we're going to move on to everybody's favorite part of the interview.
Oh, God.
We're going to the quick fire round. So I hope you're ready, right?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
So, Claire, favorite lift and why?
Squat. I lift a lot.
Okay, one of the craziest or most memorable calls you've ever responded to?
The ducklings. I love the dang
Ducklings.
ducklings. I love the ducklings.
Yeah.
They're honestly, anything that has to do with an animal, I am all there for.
Yeah. Go to post-workout or post-shift meal?
Bubble tea. Don't hate. Just enjoy.
We'll figure out if that's a meal or not.
That is a meal. It is a meal.
What's always in your gym bag?
Snacks, candy, more
What kind
snacks.
of snacks? Any
Candy.
specific?
Okay, my snacks. All right, you're calling me out here. Sour candy. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all you get.
Okay. Who inspires you, whether in lifting, firefighting, or life?
Oh, snap. I wasn't prepared for this one. Who inspires me? Oh, yes. Well, half of my tattoos are Joan of Arc. And I emulate a lot with how she grew up. I was a very big tomboy, not a big girly girl. She was the same way as me. And every time she would go into battle on the crusade, she would say, I am not afraid. I was born to do this. And I think a lot of people can take that to heart. Like, if you go into trying new things and you have fear, you're never going to know your potential, or you're never going to know what you can accomplish. But if you just say, you know what, I'm just going to go into it with no fear, you might end up finding something that you were meant to do. I.e., I found firefighting. And obviously, like, going into fire, like, there is some fear associated with it. But it's like, you go into those things and you're just like, you know what? I was put on this earth to do something amazing, and I'm going to figure it out no matter what.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc. There you go. That's my rapid fire
Joan of Arc
answer.
also historically had a great squat. So
Say what?
what?
Yeah. She
Her
had a
squat
great
was
squat. Yeah.
amazing. Oh, okay. So Claire, looking forward, any big comps coming up, goals you've got set, whether in career or lifting, or just milestones you're looking forward to?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm in paramedic school. The goal is to be a paramedic starting out 2026. Still got a while to go, but that's a very, very big career goal. Ultimately, I would love to be on Indiana Task Force 1, so be able to get activated to go help when natural disasters or something occurs. That's the ultimate goal. As far as lifting is concerned, honestly, like, learning to fill out my weight class, being comfortable, being a little bit heavier, and just honestly learning to continue to love the sport that I've been in for such a long time, and just enjoying life. Like, genuinely, I'm loving where I'm at, and I'm kind of excited to see where life goes, but it's all an open door for me. There's a lot of good things, and it's just more of like figuring out day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So where can people follow you or connect with you on your journey?
You can follow me at my name, Claire Vahary, on Instagram. Lots of lifting content, lots of silly memes and doggo content. So if you want to give me a follow, you know where to find me.
All right. And just to wrap up, what would you tell someone who's trying to find their way in strength or service?
In which service?
In strength or in service, whether it be, let's say, like a firefighter or something, like somebody that's trying to make it. What would you say to them?
Like I said before, if it's not an F yes, it's an F no. Commit to what you want to do and put 100% into it. Don't give 90%. Don't give 50-50 to everything. If you're going to prioritize things, prioritize them. Give it everything you got and know that you can believe in yourself and have the confidence yourself. And I guarantee no matter wherever you put your energy and your effort and your mindset, you will be successful in whatever you do. But you've got to believe in yourself, and you got to get past this point of, maybe I'll do it, and just do it. Because ultimately, that's where you find your success. It's just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't put it better myself. And that is a drop mic moment. And as a drop mic moment, that's a wrap, everybody. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I want to thank Claire for showing up and giving us some of this wisdom from all of her different hats that she wears. And yeah, like I said, it's been nice having you guys, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
See ya.